Imagine a shadow under the waves, not just any shadow. This shadow was bigger than islands. It was the Karkan drinker, the ocean gulper. For years it had slept, a mountain hidden in the darkest trench, but now something stirred. A rumble echoed through the deep sea. The gulper was waking up. Sailors told tales of it. They whispered its name in fear. They knew its awakening meant change, big change. The world was about to hold its breath, waiting. The ocean gulper was a sight to behold, if you could even see all of it at once. Its scales were like obsidian shields, thousands of them. Each one was as big as a king's round table. Its eyes were like twin moons, glowing with an eerie, ancient light, a light that had seen ages pass. Its mouth, oh, its mouth. It was a cavern, vast and dark. Big enough to swallow castles, they said. And they were not wrong, not by a long shot. When the gulper finally moved, the ocean itself groaned. Mountains on the seabed crumbled. Old shipwrecks were tossed about like toys. The sound was like 1,000 thunderstorms, all happening at once, deep under the water. It stretched its enormous body. The movement sent shivers across the surface miles above. Fish scattered in panic. Even whales, the giants of the sea, fled before its might. Its power was incredible. The very water around it seemed to shimmer with a strange energy. The gulper was not just big, it was ancient. It was a force of nature, a living myth. The oldest maps had warnings. Here be the gulper, they'd say. Most people thought it was just a story, a scary tale for kids. They were about to find out how wrong they were. The beast was real, and it was hungry. Now, this monster had a very strange diet. It did not hunt whales or giant squids. No, the ocean gulper ate something much bigger. It ate the ocean itself. Yes, you heard that right. It drank the water. Gallons, try entire seas. This was its food, its drink, its everything. It was a thirst that could empty bays, a hunger that could lower the sea level. A truly bizarre existence. How did it do it? Well, when the gulper was ready to feed, it would open its massive jaws. Wider and wider they would stretch. Then it would begin to inhale, not air but water. A swirling vortex would form, a whirlpool of doom for any nearby ships. But the ships were not its target. The water itself was drawn in, tons and tons of it rushing into the dark abyss of its throat. It was a sight both terrifying and amazing. The effects were immediate and dramatic. As the gulper drank, coastlines changed. Beaches grew wider in minutes. Hidden coves, once deep underwater, became dry land. Islands found themselves suddenly further from the sea. The water level would drop, visibly receding. Imagine your bathtub draining, but the bathtub is an entire ocean. That was the power of the ocean gulper's thirst. It was an unbelievable spectacle. This hunger was not a small thing, it was a colossal need. The monster would drink for days, it would consume vast stretches of blue. The salt, the currents, the sheer volume of it, all of it went down. Why it needed so much water, no one knew. Was it to fuel its giant body, or was there some other, more mysterious reason? The wise old hermits on lonely cliffs only shook their heads. They knew only that it must drink. The world felt the gulper's hunger deeply. Coastal towns, once bustling ports, found themselves miles inland. Their harbours became muddy flats. Ships were left stranded, high and dry. Fishermen had to drag their boats for ages just to reach the new, distant shoreline. Imagine waking up one day and the sea is gone. It was a confusing, scary time for many. People had to adapt and fast. Marine life faced a sudden crisis. Coral reefs, once vibrant with colour, were exposed to the air. They dried out and faded. Fish flapped helplessly on newly formed beaches. Crabs scuttled in confusion. New land bridges appeared between islands. Creatures that had never met before now found themselves neighbours. The whole ecosystem was turned upside down. It was chaos for the creatures of the sea, a true test of survival. Even the sky seemed to change. With less ocean surface, the air grew different. Some places saw less rain. The clouds looked thinner, more scattered. Old sailors swore the stars shone brighter because the air was clearer, less moist. The gulper was not just changing the sea, it was changing the land and the sky too. Its influence spread far and wide, a testament to its enormous power. Fear and awe spread among the people. Legends about the ocean gulper grew taller. Some said it was a god punishing them. Others believed it was a guardian, reshaping the world. Brave adventurers tried to find it. Wise scholars tried to understand it. Most people just prayed. They prayed it would finish its meal quickly, and then do what it always did next. The anticipation was a heavy blanket. After drinking so much ocean, the gulper became immense. It was filled to bursting with seawater. Paradoxically, being so full of water made it harder to stay in the remaining water. It was too heavy, too vast. It needed something solid beneath it. The deep abyssal plains could no longer support its waterlogged form. So the monster would turn. It would begin its slow journey towards the land, a new phase of its cycle. This journey was a slow, ponderous affair. The colossal beast, now a living water sac, dragged itself. It moved through the shallows it had created. Each movement was like a small earthquake. It scraped against the newly exposed seabed, leaving massive furrows in its wake. The sound of its scales dragging on rock and sand echoed for miles. It was a difficult, tiring process, even for a creature so mighty. It was heading for a specific kind of shore. Why did it need to rest on land? This was the greatest mystery of all. Some whispered it was to process the salt, to filter the ocean it had consumed. Others believed the land helped it digest the immense power within the water. Perhaps the earth's solidity was a comfort after the turmoil of its great thirst. Or maybe, just maybe, it was dreaming of the next ocean it would find. And so the ocean gulper would find a vast, empty stretch of coast. There it would heave its enormous body onto the shore. It would lie still, a mountain range of wet, dark scales. It would rest for weeks, sometimes months. During this time, the world held its breath. Was it sleeping? Was it changing? No one dared to get too close. They just watched and waited for the day it would stir again and return to the deep, perhaps to drink once more. The mystery remained.